Hello everyone, this is part 13 of What If Naruto Left Konoha to Save His Life, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto's sword cut though another rock Anbu as the forces under his command had started to fall back toward the pass. Take this, yelled Naruto as he threw 4 kunais with his free hand, hitting 4 ninjas in the end, king them. The ninjas of the Leafs didn't care about who was seeing, they just jumped over the S-boss of their comrades and kept going. Most of the time Naruto had more enemies around him than friends. "So we are ready," yelled an ice Anbu. "Do it," yelled Naruto as he jumped back just in time to avoid a line of paper bombs going off, taking another few dozen enemy ninjas with them. In the rear lines, Sasuke stood on the hill watching as man and women SD in a giant fireball. "They are just holding off what can't be stopped," said Sasuke as he looked at an arm that had landed near him. "We will overwhelm with numbers. So they have fallen back to the pass and their numbers mean nothing," said Chuji. "They will run out of chakra and weapons before I run out of ninjas," said Sasuke. Across the world, away from the blood-covered battlefield, Ino Uchiha was in the upper marketplace picking fresh fruit for super tonight. With Sasuke gone, she could actually cook what she wanted instead of what he demanded. Her 2 younger kids were at the grandparents' house. Her oldest 6 years old Fugaku Uchiha was currently being trained by an Anbu squad handpicked by her husband and Danzo. However, it was a clear sunny Saturday afternoon. "Something doesn't feel right," thought Ino as she looked around the market. She could see Kiba and Hinata shopping just like her, other than that the market was strangely empty. Even though the upper market was only for the upper level clans, it was still empty. Probably just because our ninjas are gone to war. She was about to return to her shopping when suddenly explosions rocked the village. "What the?" yelled Ino as she covered her face from the shower of small pebble-sized rocks that came falling down. Slowly she stood up and looked around the wall. The border between the upper village and the middle and lower village was blown apart. Out of the cloud appeared a person she couldn't believe was standing there. "Shikamaru?" asked Ino as she looked at her former teammate dressed in a battle uniform. She could see not 1 but 2 swords handles on his back. Slowly he reached into his vest and pulled a cigarette and a lighter. He lit the end and took in a deep breath before exhaling. "Did you really think you would get away with attacking our homes without any punishment?" asked Shikamaru as 3 more figures appeared beside him. Ino remembered seeing the uniforms before. They were Ice Anbu. "If you attack our home, we are going to attack yours." At the same moment, Naruto was fighting with 2 kunais in his hands after his sword was cut in half by an enemy sword. However, Naruto and his ninjas were making them pay for every inch they took. In fact, if it wasn't for the demon chakra's healing power, it was likely that Naruto would be covered in blood from the multiple glancing hits he took. Suddenly a pair of kunais hit him in the back as he spun around to cut another rock ninja's en. "Looks like Naruto is going to S without me even needing to lay a hand on him," said Sasuke calmly. "I always knew he was S last. Sir, he killed about half of our advance forces. If our main force hadn't shown up, then we would likely be losing," said Chuji as Sasuke glared at him. "I am going to pretend I didn't hear that, lard ass, because if I did, you little boy would be S," said Sasuke as he watched Naruto pull out the kunais and throw them at their owner. "I may have no choice, I may have to summon the QB," thought Naruto as he realized that they had already lost about half the valley opening and about half his ninja force. Suddenly an enemy ninja went down with a giant spear in his chest. Naruto could only smile as 3 people appeared before him. They were tall, well-built men covered head to toe in armor. 2 held spears while the other had a short straight sword. They all had helmets that covered all but their eyes and their faces. Along the top ran a line of red fur. The one with a sword had a flowing reed cape and each one of them held a large shield. "Yes, I based these guys off the Spartans. So nice of you to join us, Alexius," said Naruto to the warlord of the village hidden in the blade. The Leaf, Rock and Lightning ninjas were stunned at the sight of these strange-looking ninjas. "I see you started the fun without me, Naruto," said Alexius. "Only you would call a bloodbath fun," said Naruto as he whipped some blood from his face. I was raised to fight, Naruto, said Alexius. Now if you don't mind, I feel that it is my turn to have some fun. They are all yours, said Naruto as Alexius smiled. Just try to leave a few alive. Fine, some may live, but I will take one of their arms or a leg in exchange, said Alexius as he brought his sword down on the first victim of the warlord blade. There was no stopping him as they pushed forward. Naruto just stood there as more ninjas from the Blade Village filed past, each one of them smiling, even the few female warriors that were among them. Unlike most villages, it was rare for a woman to be a ninja in the Blade Village. They normally stayed home and made up a defense group. Sometimes I wonder with the entire Blade Village isn't made out of bloodthirst mad people with an extremely strong sense of honor. Thought Naruto as he watched Alexius cut a head off a leaf ninja, all the while smiling like a little kid getting a new toy. At the moment I don't care, I am just glad they are on our side. Shikamaru asked Kiba, stunned to see his old friend. It is kind of nice to see you guys again, said Shikamaru. How is the whole marriage thing working, Kiba? Could be better, said Kiba. Shikamaru, are you here to rescue me for Naruto-kun? Asked Hinata as Shikamaru raised an eyebrow. Wow, Hinata, you still have a crush on Naruto even though you're married to Kiba? Asked Shikamaru. And we have had 2 kids together, said Kiba sadly. You guys need couples therapy, said Shikamaru, but Hinata really let Naruto go. He has a wife and, for the lack of a better term, 5 kids to look out for. Wow, he and Sakura must have been going at it like crazy to have 5 kids, said Kiba as Hinata's heart broke again. Well, only 2 are his and Sakura's. One is Sakura's brother and the other 2 happen to be kids he adopted when their mother SD. Said Shikamaru before turning to Ino. I am surprised you didn't tell her this, Ino. Couldn't bear to break her heart. Now surrender, said Ino as she pulled a kunai. Please, Ino, when was the last time you fought? Asked Shikamaru as he pulled both his swords. I am a jonin, said Ino, and if Hinata and Kiba know what is good for them, they will fight you and your ANBU along with me. They are not here to fight you, said Shikamaru as he waved his hand. Though the Anbu, in fact these are only clones, the real ones are seizing every little bit of money and supplies that belong to Naruto's family trading company. Then we outnumber you, said Ino with a smirk. Ino, I thought you knew me better than this, said Shikamaru. Do you really think I would stand here and just talk to you? What? Asked Ino. Look down, said Shikamaru. Ino, Hinata and Kiba all looked down to see themselves trapped in Shikamaru's shadow procession. Just to. But I was moving, asked Ino as she tried to move but found she couldn't. That is because I was letting you, said Shikamaru with a grin. He was enjoying his payback on the leaf just a bit too much. Meanwhile on the battlefield, Sire and the rest of Ice Ninjas had arrived just in time to see the Blade Village ninjas push the enemy out of the pass and into open ground. Should we help them? Asked Sire as she appeared next to Naruto. You're welcome, but they seem to be enjoying it, said Naruto as he watched another ninja fall to a Blade Village spear. Those people are mad, said Sire. Yes, their entire culture is based on war, so they have been pent up for years and they are finally letting it out, said Naruto as he looked around to see the horror on the younger ninjas' faces, including his kids and Reiji. They have never seen a true battlefield. They have only heard of war, though the stories and the photos. They have never seen what war really is like. They have never smelled the fresh blood as it soaked into the earth. They have never seen the true face of war. What is going on? Asked Danzo as the aging ninja walked into the Hokage's office. With Sasuke in the field, he was acting as the Hokage. They are hitting the banks and the storage areas, said Jonin Captain. They are robbing us, asked Danzo. In a way they appear to be going after what belongs to the Leaf Village Trading Company, said the Jonin. Crap, they are taking only that. Naruto is taking back only what belongs to his clan in the first place, and since that damn Haruno has been telling everyone that Naruto Namikaze owned the trading company, they will see this as him just taking what belongs to him, thought Danzo. Stop them at all costs. At once, sir. If they get away with that money and supplies, say goodbye to half our village income, and when you get unemployed hungry masses you get uprisings, thought Danzo. So what happens now, Shikamaru? Asked Ino. If you are going to chaos, then no, you will be taking away a mother from 3 little kids. Ino, even after all this I still consider you like a sister to me, said Shikamaru, a sister I hate at the moment but still a sister, I have no plans to kill you. Your husband yes, you or your kids no. Then what are we doing? Asked Kiba. I wanted you guys to see the gift Naruto brought to this village, said Shikamaru as he looked down at his watch, should be in 3, 2, 1. With that another explosion happened, only this time instead of a sly bomb it was a massive paint bomb. They looked up toward the Hokage moment only to see Sasuke's and Danzo's face covered in paint just like Naruto used to do as a kid. You have got to be kidding me, said Ino as she looked at her husband's painted stone face. It was pink with a mix of blue, and across his forehead in big black letters were the words, Sasuke. It's kind of funny, said Kiba as he laughed a bit. Shut it, yelled Ino as she stepped toward Kiba to punch him only to realize she could move. She looked toward where Shikamaru should have been only to find him gone. So did we get everything? Asked Shikamaru as he stood in a tree outside the wall of the Leaf Village watching the chaos down below. Since they had blown up the walls dividing the village, the have-not were raiding the haves. Yes, said Ananbu as he looked at the rioting villages in the village below, and it looks like it is going to take them a while just to know that we are gone. That is the point, we need to get the cargo to the ship and then we can move on to phase 2, said Shikamaru. Cargo? Asked a female voice. Sorry Mrs. Haruno, said Shikamaru as he looked at Sakura's parents, I meant no disrespect. I am just glad you got us out of there, said Kane Haruno, they had us on house arrest so that we couldn't do anything. Don't worry, we will get you to our ship and then you can go to the ice village, said Shikamaru. I just can't wait to see my son and daughter again, said Kane. Don't forget the grandkids, said Rin Haruno. Don't remind me, I still say I am too young to be a grandpa, said Kane. You will get used to it once you see them, said Rin. Hold, yelled Alexius as his ninjas came to a stop all at once. Behind them was a sea of S-body, so many that they could walk back to where Naruto and the others were and never have their feet touch the ground. Order all forces back, said Sasuke. At once, sir, said Chuji, wishing he could have given the order a long time ago. In the snow-covered forest of Demon Country, one of the 3 major villages burned. The Darkness Village along with the Shadow and the Wolf Village made up the unified tribes of Demon Country, and now 2 of them were either burning or burnt. The real Sasuke Uchiha stood in the snow watching the village burn. Do we have it? Asked Sasuke. Yes, sir, said the Leaf Anbu as he held onto a small chest. Good, then on to the Wolf Village for the next piece, said Sasuke. You are a fool, Naruto, thought Sasuke's clone with a grin as he looked out over the blood-stained battlefield. You failed to see the true target and my true plan. This is just sick, said Reiji as he looked at the S-boss off the Leaf Rock and Lightning ninjas. Just pick it up, snapped Saito as they bent down picking the now S-Genin by the feet. Reiji picked up the Genin by the arms and then together they tossed the body into the mass grave that had been made by the side of the pass. I feel sorry for them, said Reiji as he looked at the massive body. Yeah, it is sad that they SD, but it is their fault, said Saito as he whipped his hands on his pants. They shouldn't have even been there to begin with. Saito, is something wrong? Asked Reiji to his best friend. You have been on snapping at me for the smallest things. Yeah, I do have a problem, said Saito. What is that problem? Asked Reiji as the 2 boys glared at each other. Is something going on? Asked Katara as she walked up, and instantly. No, nothing is wrong, said Saito as he glared at Reiji. Reiji knew what Saito was saying with his eyes. We will talk later. What is it, Katara? Asked Reiji. Well, my dad wants to see you, said Katara. Okay, said Reiji as he followed Katara to where Naruto was looking over a map. You wanted to see me, sir, said Reiji. Yes, you, Katara. Saito and Saya will be leaving within the hour to meet up with Shikamaru and our ship in Moon's Harbor, said Naruto. Okay, why? Asked Katara. Reiji's parents are on board, said Naruto as Reiji's eyes widened. What? Asked Reiji. Well, we attacked the Leaf yesterday, said Naruto as he looked at Reiji. Your parents are coming to live in the ice since the Leaf is not safe anymore. That means you can live with your parents again. What? Reiji wouldn't live with us anymore? Asked Katara. I don't believe so, though he would want to live with his parents again, said Naruto as he looked at Reiji. I just know, said Reiji. I just spent so long with you guys it will be hard to move. Well, you can stay as long as you want, said Naruto, however go pick up your parents. Since we got the word that the railroad line is back up you will all head home by rail. What are you going to do, Dad? Asked Katara. Well, I am going to talk to Alexius about our plans and the cage from ice is coming up along with the mountain council members, said Naruto. We need to decide what to do now. Alright, we will head there, said Katara. Later that night, Sire, Saito, Katara and Reiji sat around a campfire. Well, I am going to get some sleep. If anything happens, wake me, said Sire as the Anbu captain turned Jonin instructor went toward her tent. I'll get some sleep too, said Katara with a yawn as she headed toward her tent, leaving Reiji and Saito looking at each other from across the fire. For a long time either one of them moved as they glared at each other. So what is your problem, Saito? Asked Reiji. You, said Saito calmly as Reiji blinked. Me, asked Reiji as Saito nodded his head. Reiji lowered his head and placed his hand on his forehead. I am sorry. Good, make sure it ends, said Saito with a smile. Ends? Asked Reiji as he looked up at Saito. Yeah, said Saito. Saito, I have no idea what you are talking about, said Reiji. But you just said you were sorry, said Saito, so you must know what I am talking about. Yeah, but I can't end it, said Reiji as Saito's eyes widened. I can't go back in time and not eat the last of the ice cream. Wait, that was you, snapped Saito. I thought that was Dad. Sorry, said Reiji, but I can't really end it. I just have to promise not to do it again. I am not talking about ice cream, snapped Saito. So what are you talking about? Asked Reiji. The thing between you and my sister, said Saito as Reiji's eyes widened like dinner plates. I have no idea what you are talking about, said Reiji. I know you do, said Saito as he turned on his Sharingan. Damn it, why can't I have a cool bloodline limit that would help me lie around those Sharingan eyes? Though Reiji, all I have is some stupid inner self. Sister said it helps protect my mind from mind-based attacks, but it is always yelling about kissing and doing other stuff to Katara. Really, I have no idea what you are talking about, said Reiji. The blood is gathering in your checks and your plus has increased. You are afraid and embarrassed, said Saito as his eyes noticed every detail. You like my sister. More like love, yelled Reiji's inner self. Shut up, yelled Reiji back, hoping it would get the hint and shut up. Just admit it, we share a room and I have heard you say her name while you slept, said Saito. I thought it was because you were dreaming we were on a mission, but it is more than that. Yes, said Reiji, knowing he was already found out. I know what you are going to say. We lived together for 10 years, we grew up together, she should be like a sister to you just like I am like a brother to you, said Saito, and I know you would never even think about dating your sister, so why are you thinking that way about Katara? That is the thing, Saito, said Reiji, we are not related. We may live together, but you are not my brother and Katara isn't my sister. My dad is married to your sister, we are related, snapped Saito. Yes, your adopted dad is married to my sister, said Reiji, stressing the word adopted all the while staring at Saito. Your real dad is Itachi Uchiha. Your own Sharingan is proof that biologically we are not related. And I cannot help the way I feel. However, I will make a deal with you. What? Said Saito, spinning the handle of his weapon in rage of what his best friend had said before. I will not try to start anything with Katara, said Reiji. Good, said Saito. A deal happens when both sides give a little, Saito, said Reiji. What do you want me to give? Asked Saito. Permission, said Reiji. If Katara comes to me and asks me out, then you will not say anything. That is fine by me, said Saito with what could only be described as an Uchiha grin. She has no idea you like her and I don't think she likes you, so it is unlikely she will ask you out. I know, said Reiji sadly. My sister told me she used to like Sasuke Uchiha, but in time she started like Naruto, so maybe that will happen to me with someone else. No, it will not, said Inner Reiji. She is the only one for you. Maybe, said Saito, however I can agree to that deal. Okay, she will probably never find out about how I feel right now anyhow, said Reiji sadly. Unaware by both teams, Katara had heard the whole thing from her tent. Reiji likes me. I thought it was just me, thought Katara, her heart racing. No, I can't like Reiji, I just can't. All three teens were in for very little sleep that night. The next morning they entered the Moon Village. Repair teams were still at work repairing the damage done in the attack. Slowly they made their way toward the dock only to see someone they hadn't expected. Sis? Asked Reiji. Yeah, said Sakura as she stood on a dock with Minato in her arms and Kushina was looking out at the boats that was coming in and out. Let me guess you are here to see your parents, Mrs. Namikaze, said Saya with a grin. Yes, said Sakura, Naruto sent me a message. And what is up with the Anbu squad? Asked Saya as she noticed the Anbu squad nearby. Well, two things really, protection of mine and Naruto's kids, and they're bringing back more money than our village takes in a year, said Sakura as the ice ship came into the port. Imagine if our enemies or some robbers got that. Is it a bad time to ask for a pay raise? Asked Saya with a grin. I think I see them, said Rin Haruno as she stood on the deck of the ship looking out at the gathering of people on the shore. Yes, I think it is them, said Kane Haruno as he gripped onto the edge of the ship with all his might. I am just glad we are at shore. You hate the ocean, don't you? Asked Rin. Was your first hint the fact that I was throwing up? Asked Kane. You can deal with it for another minute, said Rin to her husband. At the same moment near the pass, Naruto and the other leaders gathered around a map. We have pushed them back to one of the outlining villages around the Rose Village, but I dare not move forward until we remove some of the forces to our west, said Alexius. Well, Demon Country is all but whipped out. We have reports that all three villages have been destroyed, said the council member for Bone Country. The few forces that were left moved into our territory. Who is leading them? Asked Naruto. Your Sasuke Uchiha, said the council member. What? Asked Alexius. I saw him on the battlefield yesterday. Wait a second, said Naruto. Alexius, did you ever see him fight? No, said Alexius. That isn't like Sasuke. If he sees me he would come after me, said Naruto. It has to be a clone. He wants me to think this was his target, but it wasn't. He wanted something in Demon Country. There is nothing in Demon, said the mountain cage. Have we heard anything from Ryu? Asked Naruto. No, the grave hasn't been seen. We have some reports of them around the Leaf Fleet, but that doesn't make sense. They can't attack us from there, said the Bone member. For a moment Naruto didn't move as his eyes widened as he understood what was going on. They aren't attacking us because they are leaving their village, said Naruto. What? Asked Alexius. Tell me, what is Demon Country? Asked Naruto. Nothing, just ice, snow and pine trees, said Alexius. And the keys, said Naruto as all the leaders' eyes widened and their faces became bone white. What? Asked Alexius. Would this Sasuke Uchiha really be so unhonorable to open the demon gate? And watch half the world burn? Added the Bone Council member. Yes, he would enjoy it, and he has at least 5 keys, said Naruto, the 3 in Demon, the 1 from Rose and the 1 at Grave. That would mean he only would need the remaining 5 keys, 1 from each of our nations, and then he would be able to open the gate, said Alexius. It could be worse. During the attacks on our nations he could have stolen the keys, said Naruto. Then we must send word back home at once. We cannot let those keys fall into his hands, said Alexius. Near the docks, Reiji couldn't help but smile as he watched his parents step off the boat. His father was holding on tightly to the railing until he reached the dock. Only then did the cane come out. Slowly they walked up to their son. You got big, kiddo, said Kane with a smile. Well, it has been 10 years, said Reiji with a grin. Way too long, said Kane as he opened his arms, and Reiji ran forward to hug his dad for the first time since he was 6. He could hardly remember much about his dad, but he knew that this was him. He just couldn't hold back the tears. His parents, he had his parents back. Sasuke stood in front of a dark stone gate that came out a mountainside. All over it was written warnings in languages long forgotten by the living. 1 each side with a door met the mountainside with 3 seals. 3 more seals sealed the center with 1 large seal running across the top. So this is what the gates to hell look like, said Sasuke as he pulled out a scroll. He quickly unsealed his keys to victory. He looked down at the podium in front of him. Slowly he placed the keys he had in the proper spots. First he placed the key from the Grave Village. It was a circle with a diamond shape cut out of the center. After that he placed the 4 quarter circle pieces around it. When the 5 pieces were in place, 5 seals broke on the demon gate. 2 holding each door to the mountain side and 1 in the center. 5 down, 5 to go, said Sasuke with a smile. Soon victory will be mine. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.